Please do not start a sales conversation this way. Hey Lucy, how are you today? What time is it in your country? What's the weather like? You sound like a salesperson, and you are not making a great first impression from your prospect's perspective. The question is, what is the top way to start a sales conversation with the goal of closing the sale? Bear with me till the end of this video, because I want to share with you not only how to start a sales conversation with a stranger, but 3 tips to close the sale over the phone easily and quickly. My name is Cecco, and I help you become a high-paid infopreneur by sharing my 12-year knowledge and experience helping professionals and small business owners create their personal brand online and sell information products and services. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I suggest you subscribe right now and turn the notification on. If you tap on the like button, you will contribute to spreading my message to people like you. So, thank you. First of all, to open the sales conversation correctly and close the sale, you need an identity shift. Let me explain this concept because it makes all the difference while selling over the phone. Who you are and who you think you are, your beliefs about yourself when you want to close a prospect over the phone are crucial. If you believe that closing a sale over the phone is difficult, or if your approach to the phone call is wrong, or if you underestimate the power you have, your sales phone call will be a disaster. You will not close any prospects. Want to know why I'm telling you this? Because I've already made all the mistakes possible during a sales conversation, especially at the beginning of the sales call. Your voice tone, what you say and how you say what you say are fundamental to close the sale and make your client happy. It all depends on who you are, your values and your beliefs about what you are selling. Obviously, some sellers haven't any value and they only care about money. Think about the Wolf of Wall Street when he closed prospects over the phone. He doesn't care about others, zero ethics. But he was an amazing closer because he knew psychology, what to say and how to say the right words to persuade people to buy thin air. What I want you to understand is that we are selling stuff that helps people fix their problems. And you have a moral obligation to close the sale if you know that the product or service you are selling can fix your prospect's problems. That's it. With that said, the best way to start your sales conversation is something like this. Go directly to the point and let your prospect speak. For example, "Good morning, Lucy. I'm Cecco. How can I help you today?" Easy and straightforward. Then let your prospects speak about their situation and the problems they are living in. Being a good listener is the #1 rule to follow when closing a prospect over the phone. In the ideal sales conversation, you should speak 20% of the time. Instead, your prospect must speak 80% of the time. The key is to let your potential clients sell to themselves why they need your product or service. Let them feel in control of the conversation, even if you guide the sales phone call until the end by asking the right questions. This is all you have to do. Let me share with you 3 tips to close the sale over the phone quickly and easily. Closing tip #1. Be prepared to ask questions. As I told you before, questions are the best weapons to guide the conversation. I suppose that if you speak to a prospect over the phone, you are selling high-ticket stuff. Especially when potential clients have to invest 10k or 25k or more, they are nervous. They are reluctant to invest that amount of money because they are not sure to make the right investment for themselves. So, you must reassure them and guide the entire conversation until the end. Questions help you guide the conversation on the right path. You should become the expert they want to work with. And once again, do not sound like a salesperson. My primary suggestion is to be prepared to ask the right questions to your prospects. And always remember that a sales call is not a pleasant experience because if you want your prospect to invest in your product or service, eliciting paying is the most important part of the entire sales conversation. Do not forget these words. If it doesn't hurt, there is no sale. Period. Closing tip #2. Be prepared to answer objections. Some people are afraid to receive objections, but the reality is that objections are a sort of benediction because they are a clear signal that your prospect is interested in what you are selling, but something is missing. They have doubts you have to fix. If prospects ask you different questions, you probably have to modify your sales presentation, especially if they are recurring questions. On the flip side, once you know what the most frequent questions are, you could prevent them in your sales call and therefore speed up the closing process. During the sales call, you can receive many different questions. Direct questions about your product or service, and even indirect questions that you need to capture based on the voice and body language of your prospect. Indeed, I highly recommend doing the sales call via Zoom or Google Meet or Skype to be able to see your prospect's face and body language. You can get a lot of crucial information to close the sale. For sure, at the end of the sales call, there are different objections you can receive. One of them is the most frequent question that any closer doesn't want to receive. I have to think about it. Continue watching this video because I have a surprise for you in the next few minutes. Let's switch to the final tip. Closing tip number 3. How to close the sale. If you set the conversation properly from the beginning, closing the sale is just a consequence. Indeed, you start closing from the beginning of the sales call. Do not forget it. When you have provided the necessary information to your prospects, you have answered their questions, you have understood their motivations, you can simply close the sale with these words. Lucy, what would you like to do next? Or, Lucy, how would you like to proceed now? The key is not to push the sale, but just give your prospect the power to decide, even if you have controlled the conversation from the beginning. Always remember that people like buying anything, but they don't like when someone tries to sell them something. With that said, I have a surprise for you. I want to give you a step-by-step process to prevent first and manage secondly this frequent objection. Let me think about it. How to handle this objection? Simply watch this video till the end. Enjoy!